All right, good morning, everybody. We are going to go ahead and call this March 2023 North Carolina APCO chapter meeting to order. First of all, thank you guys for attending. I'm glad to see so many faces out here. It's been a while since I've been able to see some of you, and want to thank you for coming to Laurinburg and showing support for Scotland County Emergency Communications. I would be remiss if I didn't recognize some corporate sponsors: Motorola, Carolina Recording Systems, Horizon Consoles, Rapid SOS. I do, and AT&T. Thank you. So I do want to introduce your North Carolina APCO board members. I'm Christine Moore. I am currently serving as your president. We have Grayson Gussa, immediate past president; Herman Weiss, first vice president; Shantae Lipscomb, second vice president; Missy Ezel, secretary; Lori Laughlin, treasurer; Gerald Anderson, executive counsel and education advisor; Melanie Jones, North Carolina 911 board rep for APCO. Anna Johnson is not here today in person. I believe she may be online. Anna, are you online? Okay. Marissa Allwalters, regional ambassador for B. Chad Deese, regional ambassador C. Josh Benfield is online. He's our regional ambassador D. Samantha Dutch, regional ambassador E. Story McIntyre, regional ambassador F. And Gary Laughlin is our commercial advisor, who is online as well. At this time, I would like to recognize the following groups. If you will, please stand so that you can be recognized. Any past North Carolina APCO chapter presidents? North Carolina APCO chapter life members. APCO International senior members. Any APCO International life members? Registered public safety leaders or RPLs. Certified public safety executives or CPEs. And first-time attendees. So I believe we have gotten your names, and we will be sending a token of our appreciation for you being here today. So first, I would like to approve meeting minutes from our January 2023 meeting that were posted to the North Carolina APCO website. So if I could get a motion to approve. Second. All in favor? The minutes have been approved. So at this time, I'd like to turn this over to APCO International second vice president candidate, Mark Spross, so he can speak to our membership.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Christine. Are you able to hear me okay?
We are able to hear you, and we're working on getting to see you.
Okay, perfect. Hearing is better. So I have a radio face, so it's best maybe leave me off. But I'm super excited to be here with you guys. I have to tell you real quick, I was excited to see all the fellow RPL, CPE, and the new people there. So that's exciting to see. I promise I won't take very much of your time, but as Christine said, my name is Mark Spross. I'm a candidate for APCO International second vice president. I saw that you heard from our NINA partners today. So now you get to hear from APCO. I just want to tell you real quick a little bit about my background and why I've decided to throw my hat in the ring and hopefully be able to represent you at APCO International. So real quick, I've been in public safety for about 32 years now. During that time, majority of it's been in ECCs, and I worked in centers as small as about 80,000 calls per year up to about 400,000 calls per year. I've worked as a dispatcher, supervisor, technical manager, operations manager. I left the ECCs for a little while to be an emergency manager and a deputy sheriff, and I'm now currently the director of an amazing center back here in Woodburn, Oregon. On the APCO level, our chapter in Oregon is a combined APCO-NENA chapter, and I've had the privilege to be able to serve in all of the positions on the executive board, from vice president all the way through to past president. I've hosted the 2016 Western Regional Conference, which is one of the most successful regional conferences that we've had back here. I've worked on numerous committees. Probably the one that I'm most excited about, if you will, would be my work on the legislative committee. And I'm sure you know, working with elected officials can sometimes be, let's just say, interesting at times. And it certainly is here as well. But I've been very, very proud of the work that we've done. We've passed some extremely big legislative issues that have impacted the 911 industry here in Oregon. So super excited about that work. On the national level, I've worked on various task force and committees. I've been a chair of a committee. I'm currently a group leader where we oversee 3 or 4 different committees every year, and we report back to the executive board as well as the board of directors. I've also am currently appointed by the governor of Oregon to oversee the Office of Emergency Management, which oversees our 911 network as well as the distribution of the tax dollars here in Oregon. So with that, I've had the opportunity to work in all sorts of government. From my current jurisdiction is our own form of government, if you will, cities, counties. At the state level, obviously my appointment by the governor. I've worked in federally declared disasters, and I've had the opportunity to travel around the nation with the Office of Emergency Communications. You might remember after September 11th, a whole bunch of money came out for interoperability of radios, and Homeland Security realized, hey, maybe we should go and make sure that this money is being spent right. So through the Office of Communications, we traveled around the countries and we checked on various sites. I actually was in one in Charlotte to do an inspection, which was a ton of fun several years back. So that in a nutshell is kind of my background. Why am I running? So prepare to be bored. I say that because we have a ton of stuff already on our plate with APCO. I do have a few ideas of some things that maybe I'd like to do if I am elected, and I'm certainly ready to pivot with anything that comes our way. But I don't really want to bring in a ton of new things when I think we've got some pretty big things already there. So the first one is the Next Gen 911. As you know, back in December, we unfortunately lost the ability to get that $15 billion. I've had some great conversations with our government affairs folks, and it looks like we've got a good pathway to get there. However, you might remember that the FCC had till mid-March to sell the spectrum, and we're there. It's mid-March, and there's no bill that's passed Congress. So my hope is that I'll be able to work with our government affairs staff to push that through. It sounds like that there's going to be an extension to that, so I don't think there's a huge issue for us with the FCC, but this next few days will certainly tell us that for sure. And then my expectation is this will be pushed in probably to the fall. So I definitely want to be a part of that. The next is reclassification. So the bottom line is it's the right thing to do. And I've had, again, some great conversations with our APCO staff, and it sounds like we, again, have a path there. But I'll be honest, I don't know if it's going to be this year or next year. We've run into a couple of roadblocks, not just with elected officials, but actually with some of our other professional organizations in public safety, not in the 911 world. So my hope is that there will be some opportunities that I can work with our professional staff to see if we can provide some better education and get that there. Now, when I say that, I want to make sure everyone understands the reclassification is not going to make a big difference for us today, other than it's the right thing to do. But what my hope is it's going to allow for those coming behind us, the new attendees that are there with you today, that hopefully they're going to see some positive steps forward. So an example of that, and again, this is just an example, don't know if it will happen or not, but FLSA rules on scheduling. My hope is that this reclassification will take a second look at allowing us in the ECCs to be able to set schedules similar to our fire, EMS, and police partners if we want. I mean, we don't need to, but we should have that option based on the 24/7 environment we have. The next is I really hope that this will give credence to the chapters and to the states to be able to go to your local elected officials to make some positive changes. So one, we're very lucky to have passed here in Oregon. It has to do with PTSD and mental health as it relates to OSHA. So there was a bill that was passed here probably about 2 years ago that includes telecommunicators with what police and fire get. What's frustrating to me is that that's not across the nation. And so I'm hopeful that that will be something that your chapter would be able to work with, and you're going to have this federal designation to say it should occur. The next is retirement benefits. It's a great career, but as you know, when you get to a certain point, enough's enough. And, we should be able to have those same benefits that our police and fire and EMS partners have. So again, my hope is that this reclassification will really give some credence to the chapters and to the ECCs to go to their elected officials and make some very positive changes. Next is health and wellness. So we have a phenomenal committee at the national level. They've been putting out some great information. They're a fairly new committee. I think we're in about year 3 or so, but I want to really help facilitate them pushing out the good work that they're doing. So chapters and ECCs don't need to recreate the wheel. In my opinion, I think we've done a horrible job in the past on really taking care of our folks. We've made some incredible strides over the last few years, and I'm excited to see that. But I still want to be able to help push that information out. And this committee is made up from all of you from across the nation, and there's some great information. So I really want to help facilitate getting that out. Finally, the next thing is the CEO recruitment. I would love to be able to have the opportunity to maybe have some influence in who we pick. But I'll be honest with you, my understanding is we may hear who that replacement is when we get to Nashville. And I'm sorry, if you didn't hear, our CEO, Derek, has announced his retirement for August of 24. So if they don't bring a name forward, I really would love to be a part of that process. And here's why. That person has a substantial influence with our professional staff on what they do. They have the ear of Congress, and they also, they can set the pace on what our relation is with a lot of the other associations that we work closely with. So with that, that's kind of my spiel. I would love to have the support from your chapter. I would love to be able to represent you for the next several years on the executive committee, and I would be open to any questions you may have.
Does anybody have questions here in the room? Mark, we don't have any questions right now, but I would be remiss if I didn't say that you're famously infamous as you get recognized as Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins often. So thank you so much for joining us, and good luck in your candidacy.
Thank you. And I'll sign Billy Corgan wherever you guys need it. So thank you so much, you guys. Enjoy the rest of your meeting, and I look forward to seeing you in Nashville. Take care.
Thanks, Mark.
Bye.
All right, so the next up will be Gary Laughlin. Do you have anything to add for the Commercial Advisory Council report?
Good morning, everybody. Just as Jennifer reported, April the 3rd will be the date that we release the floor plan. So I would urge all of our commercial partners to get your registration in. Right now, we're at 32 registered. The earlier you get registered, the better placement you have in the vendor hall. So please get your registration in. Thank you.
All right, so Janet could not be here to give her compassionate care report, but she did send something for me to read out to you. And just a reminder that if you do have anyone that you feel like would be a candidate to receive a compassionate care card, please reach out to Janet King or any other board member for the request for the card. With your request, please provide information about the situation, a mailing address, and of course the name. So since the last meeting in January, we've sent out 16 cards, 6 cards due to the death of a loved one, 6 cards due to sickness or recovering from surgery, 2 cards of thinking of you, and 2 cards due to retirement celebrations. She did want me to share on a personal note to both the APCO and NENA boards her sincere gratitude for all the love, support, concern, and prayers during her difficult journey for her and her family over the last few months. She's received cards, phone calls, texts, visits with family, visits at the funeral home, attending funerals, beautiful flowers, and endless prayers. She lost both her father, and then 4 months later and 9 days, her mom died. So as she says, she's expressed with many, some days the triggers of emotions are stronger than others, especially with their deaths being so close to one another. They were married for 63 years, which is something I only hope and strive to achieve. And even though her mother battled with several health issues, she has no doubt that she passed due to a broken heart. So the double whammy has been overwhelming, but she feels like God is bigger, and they are blessed with strong faith, and they know that heaven is sweeter knowing that her parents have been reunited again. So thank you for her again. And she says, God bless you all. All right, Missy Ezel for the conference committee report, please.
Good morning. The conference will be held at Wilmington Convention Center, April 30th through May 3rd. We were there last year. It turned out to be a really great venue. We had a good conference for the first time past COVID, so we're hoping this year it'll be even better. Right now, the registration is open. We have a little over 100 registries or registered attendees. We have 32 vendors. If the vendors, like Gary said, if the vendors go ahead and get in, the quicker you get in, the better spot you'll get in the vending hall. The Sunday pre-conference classes, we've got those set up. It'll be a great day of training, networking, and some of these topics are new topics. We've tried to bring in new topics, and they are not the usual. And I'm not saying that we do the same thing every year, but sometimes we're limited to what our choices are. So we have opened that up to some different topics. CVent app will be utilized. It'll show check-ins, the training information and lodging information, things like that. It'll tell you where we're going to be meeting at in certain places for the different events, and just check the website for information on the app. Also check the website reference lodging. The embassy has filled up with, I want to double check, make sure I was right in that. I've got it written down, but I like double check. The embassy is filled up on all of our reserved rooms, but we do have flow over hotels that have agreed to do different pricing for our event. So if you'll check the website, it has those different hotels listed. And also to back up on the Sunday events, those are pre-registered only. You have to pre-register for those. It's not part of the registration. So make sure you do that. I'm looking over all my notes. I want to make sure because we had a lot of information that we went over yesterday as well. All right. I think I've touched on the majority of it. If I haven't, Gerald will with the training. And we just want to invite everybody to come join us again. Go ahead and get registered. We're going to have a great week or 4 days of training, networking, activities, and conference is a good time to meet people that you'll run into over the years, and they'll become friends. So thank you.
Thank you, Missy. One other thing I do want to add that today is the last day for early bird registration to get a $25 discount on your registration. So that ends today. All right, so I'm next going to call up Gerald Anderson, and she will do executive council report and education.
Good morning, everybody. We're going to do the executive council report first, since it's longer of the two. Just a quick reminder, again, if you're renewing your memberships, and for those of you that have agency group memberships, that there was a price increase. So whoever handles that for your agency, they should be able, they'll see that on the invoice, or if they're going online to do that. Under government affairs, for our executive council report, on February 16th, APCO International posted within a blog high-level talking points concerning APCO's top legislative priorities, which were securing federal funding for next generation 911, correcting the federal classification of public safety telecommunicators, and supporting wellness programs in ECCs. Then a week later, on February 23rd, they posted in another blog, they wanted to talk about their regulatory advocacy priorities for the year. And among other things, APCO's priorities include ensuring wireless 911 callers are routed to the correct 911 center, improving wireless 911 location accuracy, and protecting public safety spectrum and improving network outage information for ECCs. APCO continues to urge FCC to require location-based routing, clarify NG 911 issues. So they filed comments with the FCC in support of proposed rules to require wireless carriers to provide location-based routing, which means that routing 911 calls based on the location of the caller instead of the cell tower transmitting that call. Location-based routing will reduce the occurrence of misroutes, thus reducing delays in emergency response to save lives. APCO has also addressed several misunderstandings related to NG 911, and they have encouraged the FCC to adopt a definition of NG 911 that aligns with public safety vision of the end-to-end easy for me to say this morning, interoperable system. Still in February, the Public Safety Next Generation 911 Coalition, which includes APCO and America's major fire service, EMS, and law enforcement associations, they met to continue its campaign to convince Congress to address the critical need for a life-saving investment into America's aging 911 systems. In the last session of Congress, the coalition garnered bipartisan and bicameral support for federal funding to modernize 911 throughout the country. During the meeting, the public safety associations recommitted to advancing this priority and urging Congress to complete its work to secure the funding needed to protect the public in times of emergencies. And to speak to Melanie's earlier comments, they had a great time at 911 Goes to Washington, and they made hopefully great strides in talking to these same people that we put in office to make this happen. Under training and certification, the APCO 2023 pre-conference course they've scheduled the pre-conference class, and the name of the class is Cybersecurity Fundamentals for the ECC. Registration is open, will open as a pre-conference course available at this year's conference in Nashville, Tennessee. The course is scheduled for Saturday, August the 5th. APCO members will receive a reduced member registration rate. Don't forget that general scholarships are still available through April 1st. So if there's a class or classes that you have staff or yourself are interested in attending and you don't have the funding for it, apply for an APCO scholarship. All right. The scholarships applications for CPE and RPL, though, are closed. If you put in an application to attend an RPL or CPE, they'll be announcing those award recipients soon. And applications for the general scholarship programs for other training classes, again, is open through April 1st. I have never heard of anyone being denied for a scholarship. So please sign up today if there's some training you want to take. Under standards development, an SDC working group has been established for the revision of the minimum training standards for public safety telecommunicators. And you can find that standard now on the APCO International website, but this working group is going to work on revisions for that. And they'll be meeting bi-monthly to complete this revision. And as a result of that, they have 7 new occupational analysis facilitators that have been trained, and that will be joining them to help with this and other workshops. Our membership for APCO continues to grow. When compared to this time last year, we have a little over 3,500 more members than we had last year. And we saw our commercial group memberships grow. They almost actually doubled from 2022. So we continue, even through COVID and staffing shortages, the membership remains strong and viable for APCO International, and they continue to try to pour into the membership. As we look at the conference that's coming up in August, the exhibit sales continue to be strong. They have over 800 vendors already secured. 13 of them are new. Now, if you got your eye set on Nashville, put this in your phone. We all have one. Put this in your phone. April the 3rd is Flash Day. April 3rd, Flash Day. Get in on that. Save that money. It'll be on the APCO website, and all the information is already posted about how to register. If you're like me and you're on their email list, you've been getting emails about the great speakers that they have secured and all the events that they have planned for this wonderful conference. There is a new 911 Staffing Crisis Summit that will be held May 17th through the 18th in Herndon, Virginia. Registration and housing is open, and it looks like it's going to be a great event. I plan to attend myself just to find out, see what's happening. Sponsor outreach began for this event, and the leadership dinner will also take place on May 17th. If you're wondering, how can I get involved? How can I serve? How can my voice be heard? And you're an APCO member, there are volunteer opportunities for you to join APCO international committees for the year of 2023-2024. It will be open through April 1st. Please go to their website at www.apcointl.org for more information on how you can sign up to be on a committee. As a person that's been on several committees and I'm still serving now, I will tell you that it will enhance you. You will learn more about the organization that you have a membership in, and they do listen, and this is your chance to get in and have your voice heard. Madam President, that concludes my Executive Council report. I'm happy to take any questions. All right, I will transition to our training report. All right, we're still in a pandemic. So when we do in-person training classes through the chapter, we will continue to follow whatever the rules are for the hosting agency. So when you send people to training, your staff should be on alert and be ready to wear a mask if it is required. What we will do is our classes may be smaller, but we will try to have a training facility that will allow us to have, so each student can have a table so that there'll be adequate spacing for safety reasons, and they can still get the training that they desire. If you wish to host a class, please see me when we break for lunch or send me an email. If you don't have my email, come by and see me or my cell number. I'm happy to give it to you. We want to increase the number of trainings that we offer, and we need people to host the training. All right. Now, there are some training opportunities available. Missy mentioned the 2023 North Carolina Public Safety Communications Conference, which kicks off with pre-conference training on Sunday, April the 30th, and we will end our conference on Wednesday evening, May 3rd. We are very excited to welcome our APCO International Executive Director and CEO, Derek Porch, and his lovely wife. They will come and join us in Wilmington, and we'll be so excited to see them. And I'm sure that if you have a chance, Derek is very approachable. He's a North Carolina registered, APCO member in this chapter. Talk to him. He is getting ready to retire from APCO, but he's still around and will be working hard through next year. We are pleased to announce to conference attendees that we will have the opportunity to attend not one, not two, but 3 different pre-conference classes will be offered on Sunday, April the 30th. The first class, Active Assailant, is through the Public Safety Group. Tony Harrison will be teaching that class. The second class is Improving Service to Callers with Disabilities, which will be offered by Niagara Falls First Responder Disability Training Program from New York. And the third class will be Denise Amber Lee Foundation will be offering a Victim's Plea, Meeting Expectations. Registration for these classes will be made available on the conference website as soon as we can get it posted, as we just got these classes approved yesterday and sponsored. A big thank you to the 9-1 Education Board for their support always in what we do at our conference. As a bonus this year, pre-conference class attendees will be provided a box lunch and beverage service. We learned on a curve last year that food is at a premium on Sunday. So to avoid that, we will be providing all class attendees and the instructors with a box lunch so that at the lunch hour, all 3 classes will break at the same time. Everybody can eat and be hydrated and then get back to learning. All right. So again, you must be registered to attend the conference, to attend the pre-conference training. Where's Missy? I don't see it. Right? Okay, just want to make sure. Wake Forest Communications will be hosting an APCO supervisor class June the 16th through the 18th at their training facility in Wake Forest. But the registration link will be sent out soon, probably on Monday, so that registration can take place for that. Be on the lookout for more CTO and supervisor classes and other training to be offered by the North Carolina chapter. We're working on that and trying to secure host sites. If you'd like to be one, again, hit me up. We'd love to come and let you show us your agency. A few friendly reminders. Effective July 1st of last year, all telecommunicators are required to have some 40 hours of telecommunicator training. If you work for a municipality or your communication center is run by a sheriff's agency, you must take the telecommunicator certification course offered through the North Carolina Justice Academy. All other agencies can choose to do the telecommunicator course if you want to, or another telecommunicator training that is equal to the minimum of 40 hours. Today is March the 17th, 2023. Y'all hear me? You have 9 months and 14 days, look it up, to finish your 2023 telecommunicator in-service training. If you do the training in-house, please make sure you have the lesson plans. You can download them. If you're a school director or you have access, PowerPoints, handouts, everything is available also through the North Carolina Justice Academy bookstore. It is required that your staff have this training. So please don't wait till the last minute. All right. If you hire staff this year from January 1 to June 30th, they must do the required in-service training in this year. Everybody you hire after July 1st, they get a pass for the year 2023. All right. If you do not do the classes in-house and you're wondering, where can I get the training for my staff? It is available online through Richmond Community College, Alamance Community College, or the North Carolina Justice Academy. Instructors, please remember you must successfully test out of any block of instruction that you are teaching and keep those tests and things on file for the audit that may come to your agency. All right. Their agency academy website has a training portal. Please do your annual instructor update class, which is 1 hour online. It is open January 1st through December 31st. This is how you keep your general instructor certification. Failure to do so will result in a nasty ground. And then you have to do extra stuff to keep your certification. This is what I heard on the street. It hasn't happened to me. Okay, so please go online, my GI instructors. Take the 1 hour class. That's how you keep your GI certification up to date. Remember, you are responsible for your certification. Make sure if you're doing the in-service training at your agency that you do those 16 hours before December 31st. I may be retired, but don't call me. I'm busy. All right. I'll shunt you to where you need some help. All right. Training, let's see. Talked about that. All right. Last time I was before you, they hadn't finished the new telecommunicator certification curriculum. They have finished it. They've done all the pilots. And now if you're teaching the TCC in-house, or if you're teaching it through a community college, please make sure that you're using the most current version of the curriculum. If you're a school director like me or instructor, you should have access to the new and improved things online. It is also available for sale through the Justice Academy bookstore. The prices for classes of APCO International Institute will rise effective July 1st, 2023. As a result, the North Carolina chapter will make an adjustment to their class prices, which will still be a really great price for you. Remember, we're not trying to do this for profit. We're trying to offer this to you as a membership, as a perk, so that you can get the training. We'll publish our new price table soon. Okay, as always, It is our chapter's goal to provide quality training for our members across the state at a cost-effective cost. We thank you for your support in our efforts by attending the training or sending people to the training. And we are looking to widen our efforts. So if you're thinking, well, they don't never come to my part of the state, we'll come, invite us. And tell us what you'd like for your staff. And if we don't have it, we have some talented instructors within our chapter that can write and create that training. And we're happy to come out and do it for you. Madam President, that is the end of my training report. I'm happy to take any questions. Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna have Grayson come up and give a report for the historian, because Randy Surratt was unable to attend.
So like Christine said, Randy Surratt was unable to be with us today. He did want us just to, again, recognize Frank Huggins. He passed away on Saturday, March 4th. He was a center supervisor for Highway Patrol Troop G Communications in Asheville and served as North Carolina chapter president from 1975 to 1976. He was also our chapter secretary and treasurer, 1979 to 1990. And was APCO International President from 1993 to 1994. Randy also noted that he was very instrumental in getting the APCO International Conference to Charlotte in 1997. So if we could just take a moment of silence in honor of our past chapter president. Thank you.
Now I'd like to call up Lori Laughlin to give the treasurer's report.
Hello, everyone. In our main checking account, we have $1,018.04. Symposium account has $12,632.22. Scholarship account has $1,307. Money market has $94,310.77. The total is $109,268.03.
Next, I'd like to call up Second Vice President Shante Lipscomb to discuss core committee and things, exciting things that are going on with that committee.
Thank you, Madam President. How is everyone today? Y'all awake? Okay. CORE is Communications Outreach and Engagement Committee, continues to actively strive to engage telecommunicators and promote involvement, not only in the chapter, but within the community. With the initiatives that we have sponsored, which includes the toy drive and the coat drive, we have been able to bless close to 200 families because of your generosity. Please give yourselves a round of applause for that. Our initiative continues today with the food drive. So if you were able to bring in your 5 canned foods, please raise your hand at this time. Samantha's going to give you your ticket. We want to make sure that you have your ticket for the opportunity to win one of our gift cards today at the end of the meeting. Today's canned food drive will be donated to Scotland County Church and Community Services. So we're going to continue with different initiatives. Please stay tuned to your emails and different correspondence as we will do some in-person core events. So, but we need your information in email. So we'll get a listserv out for that for those that are interested in staying involved. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. And I know it's hard, but try to keep your hands raised a little high so we can get you your tickets. We have some nice gift card prizes to give out. Grayson, you're up again for the bylaws committee.
All right, I think I've spoke on this at every meeting for the last several months, but we finally have some progress in our bylaws. We did review them as a board yesterday, and have a few more changes that we're going to be making. They will be sent out to the membership in early April for you to review. And then we have scheduled a webinar. It'll take place on Monday, April 17th at 2:30 PM. That'll be open to all membership to discuss the changes and answer any questions that anyone may have. So be looking for that registration to be coming out soon. And then if you're not able to join live, that webinar will be available to view after the fact. And then we anticipate voting on the new bylaws during the chapter meeting in May in Wilmington.
No, not yet. I believe Melanie Jones has a couple of more pieces of information she'd like to share on behalf of the State 911 Board.
So we did forget a couple of things when we did our 911 board report earlier. So the PSAP assessment teams, they should have already sent out all of the meeting invites and the information for them coming to your PSAP. So if you are in a PSAP and you have not received that information, please see Pokey and Sarah before you leave today. The second thing, our April meeting, which will be our next meeting, is April the 28th. And it will be in Greene County at what I believe is their new EOC building. Yeah, and that will be an in-person meeting. So if anybody wants to join us, please come join us at that board meeting. Thank you.
Hey guys, one more thing that we forgot as well. Please reach out to her at Richmond Community College. Again, that's for the program coordinator for the associate's degree in 911 communications and operations program.
Hello. Did we miss anybody for a ticket? All right. So just real quick, a president's report. Melanie, I believe, no, Gerald spoke to the membership for APCO International, North Carolina APCO. We boast a membership of 1,560 as of March 1st. Remember, there are 4 types of membership: full, associate, online group, and commercial member. Again, we've talked about it a little bit today, just a little bit. Reminder of our 2023 annual conference in Wilmington, April 30th through May 3rd. We are looking for volunteers. If you're interested in volunteering, please reach out to Gerald Anderson or Candy Miller. So we did a little bit of discussion yesterday regarding our scholarship fund. So we have had some money sitting in the scholarship fund for a little bit now. And we really haven't been able to come up with creative ways of using it to support our membership. But we think with the unfortunate passing of our great friend, Bill French, we are creating a memorial scholarship. And this scholarship will have 2 $500 scholarships to award each year. And they will be awarded typically at conference. Because this is kind of something that we just came up with yesterday after finalizing some discussions, this year we will open applications at conference, and then the awarding will be at the July meeting. This $500 scholarship can be used towards registration fees and or travel for RPL, CPE, ENP, and CMCP. We're including the NINA certifications because of the great work that Bill French did to support continuing education and certification for telecommunicators across the state of North Carolina. I can say that I am grateful to attend CMCP next week because of the work that he did. So again, be looking for that. There will be an application form that you'll need to complete. So that way we can get some information on why you want it and how you feel like it will benefit you and your agency. I have no other business at this time, but we do have Grayson that's going to come up and he's going to talk about nominees for our board positions and the North Carolina chapter of APCO award nominations.
All right, so I'll first start with the awards. Just as a reminder, nominations are open through next Friday. That's March 24th. Awards in the category of telecommunicator of the year, communications trainer of the year, communications team of the year, support personnel of the year, supervisor of the year, director of the year, radio technologist of the year, information technologist of the year, and then commercial member of the year. The nominations form is located on the NCAPCO website, ncapco.org. And again, that's open until next Friday at 11:59 p.m. I think as of this morning, we have 14, but we hope to get several more. So if you have someone you want to recognize, this is a great way for that. So as immediate past president, I'm also, by virtue of our bylaws, the chair of our nominations committee. So I'm honored this morning to recognize our nominees for a couple of positions and allow them a brief moment to introduce themselves. For second vice president, running unopposed, is Chad Deese with Robeson County. Robeson County, sorry. And just in the interest of time, we're going to give each person only 3 minutes to speak, so. You can-
Only get 3 minutes. I know, right? I joked around yesterday and I told him when I got up here to speak, I was going to be like, I want to thank me for being a part of this chapter for the last 2 years. I want to thank me for showing up, doing a great job. Nah, I know, right? I'm already into my 3 minutes. And that's one thing I was going to say. I mean, looks like I'm standing in between you guys and the food, so I'm not going to stay up here long. Most people already know me. I'm Chad Deese with Robeson County 911. I've been there for 23 years. I've came up through the ranks. I've done everything, including the custodian, part-time, full-time supervisor, assistant director, IT, and now director. So I've been there. As far as involved in emergency services, I've been a part of emergency services for 27, 28 years. I started out on my fire department as a junior fireman. So I've also came up the ranks that way, now serving as assistant chief for over 26, 27 years. The one thing that I want to say in my role, I'm very blessed to have kind of been invited into this organization by the great Melanie Neal Jones. It was solely because of her that I became a part of APCO, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. I've came through the ranks as ambassador and enjoyed it, being able to reach out to the PSAPs and really been an eye-opening experience for me, even though I'm years into my career. That's one thing that I hold dear to my heart. That's one thing that I want to advocate for truly. And that's one of the reasons why I'm running for second vice president, is that the eye-opening experience of telecommunicators, PSAPs that are not involved. I want to get more people involved. We always stand up here and we say, get involved, get involved, get involved. I preached this yesterday in our chapter meeting. Our board meeting, like, we got to do more. We got to do more for the people. I feel like this board is here for the PSAPs. We're here for the frontline telecommunicators. So that is where my mission is. That's where my goal is. That's what I'm striving for. And we brainstormed yesterday on some ideals to be more impactful as this board directly to PSAPs or frontline telecommunicators. So that's one of my goals as I sit on this board, and I look forward to being given an opportunity to make that happen.
Thank you, Chad. For our next position of chapter secretary, we have three nominees. They are Dawn Anderson from NC A&T Police, Missy Ezel from UNC Wilmington Police, and then Megan Sale from Scotland County. So we'll now invite Dawn to come up and share remarks.
Greetings and good afternoon, everyone. First and foremost, I would like to thank all of you for allowing me the opportunity to stand before you today. It is an honor and a privilege to be nominated Secretary for the North Carolina chapter for APCO. For those of you who don't know me, I am Dawn Anderson. My current position is telecommunicator for North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University Police and Public Safety Department. I have held this position for the last 2 years and 3 months. Prior to this, I was employed with the Guilford County Sheriff's Office for just under 9 years, as well as working with the mental health field for the North Carolina Mentor Network for 4 years. In each of these positions, I have had more than my fair share of leadership roles. My leadership abilities are not only used in my career, but in the community as well, as I was able to implement them into different programs and projects that I spearheaded, such as the Salvation Army Christmas Tree Angel, the High Point Toy Drive, and the Greensboro Coat Drive, just to name a few. These projects show my passion for not only community service, but working with the general public. There's a mindset that I believe an individual should have to attain success, one that I personally live by every day that has helped me to be a successful individual that you see before you today. What is that mindset? It's simple to do. Set a personal daily goal, and in doing so, it allows you opportunity to measure your strengths and weaknesses, as well as seeking improvement. By doing so, I believe that you will not only obtain success in the workplace, but in life. Success is simply a teachable moment. Throughout my career, I have learned that a leader must be willing to not only teach, but to learn themselves. One way to implement this is to use the acronym that I learned while working in the industry. Think, asking oneself the following inquiries. Is it true? Is it helpful? Is it inspiring? Is it necessary? And is it kind? If appointed the position of secretary, I will accept it wholeheartedly, and I plan to utilize this very same module and incorporate it into the position to ensure its maximum success. In my extracurricular activities, I served as secretary for the Young People Division of the AME Church, the Women's Missionary Society, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, Order of Eastern Stars, as well on committees for APCO International. In many of these organizations, I have also held other positions such as president, vice president, treasurer, director of the youth department, undergraduate advisor. I have dedicated my life to public service, be it in my career or in my community. I would like to think that I am a natural leader and exhibit true compassion. It prides me to say that past employees and employers have described me as the type of individual that is loyal, honest, and dependable. So much so that I was awarded the Telecommunicator of the Year award in 2021. I can confidently say that I am an individual that you can always count on, and my attributes and accolades confirm just that. It is with my great hopes that you appoint me to the position, as it is one that I will truly fulfill beyond expectations. Once again, thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you, Dawn. We'll now recognize Missy Ezel.
Hello, everyone. I'm Missy Ezel. I am proud and honored to have been nominated again to run for secretary. My work history, I've been in public safety for a little over 31 years. I've worked as a 911 telecommunicator, a police department administrative assistant, and I was director at Pender 911, and now I'm currently supervisor telecommunicators, of the telecommunicators at UNCW Police Department. In my spare time, I like to spend time with my family. I have 2 sons and a daughter, a bonus daughter and a daughter-in-law. I went from having just boys to having a lot of females in the house after that, but I enjoy spending time with them. One of my sons is a firefighter. One is an assistant county ranger with forestry, and they're both volunteer firemen. And my daughter-in-law is a paramedic. So it sort of stays in my family. My brother's in dispatch. He's a dispatch supervisor at Pender now, and our other brother is a retired police officer. So my goal in telecommunications has always been everybody goes home at the end of the night, or at the end of the shift. And that is what I like to push for anytime I'm training a telecommunicator, or anytime there's a question on anything, that's the priority. And as a member of APCO, I think we've provided training, and a lot of the focus looks like it's on 911 telecommunicators, but we've tried to push it out further than that to police departments, to PSAPs, and communication centers that are not recognized as secondary or primary. So the universities, the hospitals, the community colleges. And I like to think that as a member of the board, I've been a voice pushing towards other telecommunicators, that we include everyone. Because at the end of the day, we all do the same job. A little bit about my recent activities. I've started making wreaths, kind of a relaxation thing. And it's a hobby that I like to incorporate into relaxing. So right now, if you're on my Facebook, you might see a lot of wreaths, but thank you all. And I appreciate the nomination. I hope I hope whoever wins is a voice for this board and for you.
All right, and the next nominee is Megan Sale from Scotland County.
Hi, everyone. My name is Megan. Horrible public speaker, so excuse me if I'm a little nervous. I've been in 911 for about 5 years. I started at Robeson County, and then I currently work here. I'm working towards my bachelor's in administration with a concentration in finance. I will be finished with that next year. In my spare time, I like to craft and bake. And excuse me, I'm nervous. I'm not a good public speaker. But yeah, I look forward to the opportunity to serve as chapter secretary. I think I have a lot of skills that would be beneficial, and really thankful for the opportunity. And I will be done so you guys can eat. Thank you.
Thank you, Megan. Our next offices are regional ambassadors. We'll start with Region B, and with Marissa Walters.
The running joke is whether anybody can actually pronounce both my last names correctly. So, or spell my first name correctly. We just roll with it. My name is Marissa Walters. I'm with North Carolina Highway Patrol. Started out in public safety over 20 years ago. And every time I say that, I feel incredibly old. This started out as an EMT, fell into 911 dispatching, absolutely loved it. Ended up at the patrol in 2010. Absolutely loved it there. During my time there, I was a telecommunicator, also a CTO, and briefly took over the CTO program for the state, along with another TC out west. I recently transitioned over to a true secretarial position with our aviation unit. However, it does give me more time to be able to work with TCs. During my time as the current regional ambassador, I was able to identify 3 to 4 agencies that we had previously overlooked, got them in the loop. I've seen an increase in participation with the meetings, new faces, seeing new people. I've also been a huge advocate for training. All of my agencies get all possible training opportunities I can possibly find to them, whether it's through EM, emergency management, through APCO, or through the community college system. Trying to make sure I have everything. I'm also a huge peer support advocate. I've been lucky/unlucky enough to be able to participate in critical incident debriefings with my agency over the past years. My goal is to make sure the agency appear seen, they've and heard and felt. And I really just enjoy being able to be a resource for other agencies and look forward to being able to continue to do this. Thank you.
Thank you, Marissa. Our next is Region D, and Josh Benfield is joining us online. I'm not sure if he's able to speak. Josh, if you're able to hear me, if you want to unmute.
Yeah, hey Grayson, can you hear me?
Yes, we've got you.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Josh Benfield. I'm with Caswell County 911. I've been in public safety pretty much since I was 18 years old, from volunteering for my volunteer fire department. In the community that I live in now, I've served as chief for the last 6 or 7 years. Been back in Caswell County for the last 5 years. And being a part of this board has been an amazing opportunity, not only for me, but for my agency. I've learned so much in the last year since being appointed as the Region D ambassador. And I'm just so thankful for Christine, Grace, and basically all the board members for allowing me to have this opportunity. And I'm a huge supporter of reclassification, and this year being able to go to Washington with the group that went was really an eye opener for me. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to do that. And I'm looking forward to being able to continue to push for the reclassification and the next generation 911 funding. And like everyone else has said, I'm really looking forward and trying to get folks in my region more involved within the association. And I just look forward to the next 2 years and being able to do that and be able to serve the membership more in this capacity. So thank you for your time.
All right, thank you, Josh. And the last but not least is Region F and Story McIntyre.
So I'm literally the only thing standing in between you guys and the food that they've been offloading in there. So I'll be sure to take all 16 minutes that Grayson gave me. Seriously, I do want to take the first minute to sidetrack just a little bit with your blessing, Madam President, to bring awareness to an issue that was brought to my attention last week and give some accolades to Melanie Jones for helping push the movement forward. Last week, I discovered from an employee of mine, a shift supervisor who has spent 20+ years as a volunteer EMT, as well as 20+ years as a full-time telecommunicator. She was, one of her professional goals was to become national registered EMT. So she had her study materials in the comm center, and she had gotten to page 11 of this large publication for National Registry study. And I want to read the passage to you that she pointed out to my attention. So y'all bear with me just a minute. It says, under an emergency dispatcher category in the National Registry EMT publication, EMTs who want to step down from the stress of emergency care can become emergency dispatchers. Dispatchers receive emergency calls and route them to appropriate personnel after obtaining necessary information from callers. I'm just going to let you sit on that for a few minutes, and I hope you're as enraged as I was when I read that, and I soaked on it for a little while. So thank you, Melanie, for getting that where it needed to go. Hopefully we can do some work in educating our partners in changing that publication. I think it's extremely important as we work towards a classification in North Carolina and then a reclass nationally, that our partners in public safety understand the important work that we do as telecommunicators. So thank you for that extra minute. Now on to me and what I'm running for. I'm running unopposed, which makes this a little easier, but I still want you to know who I am. Story McIntyre, worked for Cleveland County. I'm currently the director. I've been serving in that role for a little over 3 years now. Have almost 23 total years in public safety, most of that being with Cleveland County, serving in every rank offered, from telecommunicator to training coordinator to CTO to QA, assistant director, and now director. So there's two things I thought about when I came up here. I was like, what do people want to know about me before they look at me as a regional ambassador? So the two most important qualities when anybody asks me about qualities for myself, I have two important qualities that I like to talk about. The first one is that I'm a servant. Number one, I'm a servant of Jesus. And I think that's extremely important for people to know. There's only two things you can do in life, and where you can fail every day and still be successful. And one's a meteorologist and the other one's a Jesus lover. So I'm really thankful for that salvation and the ability to fail every day and still be successful. I'm a servant of my family. I have a 15-year-old boy who is the light of my world. Ooh. And I have a husband of, oh God, he's gonna be so mad. Be 19 years this year. He is a 26-year law enforcement veteran in Cleveland County. He loves what he does as well. And they support me wholeheartedly in everything that I do and every venture. And last but not least, I'm a servant of the community and servant of this industry. Every single day I live, breathe, and eat, sleep for 911 professionals. Telecommunicators are the backbone. It's great to be on this board. It's great to be a director. But at the end of the day, what made me who I am is being that telecommunicator. And I miss it every day. And I take every opportunity I can to go back in there and sit down, even if it's just like this, and watch them work, because it's just an amazing thing to see. The second thing I think is important to know about me is I'm authentic. I'm the most authentic individual human being you'll probably ever meet in your life. What you see is what you get. This face tells no lies. Do not take me to poker games. You will lose. You will lose. I speak the truth. I ask questions. I ask tough questions. I challenge tough people, and I'm not scared to do it. I ask dumb questions. Don't care to ask them or who I'm asking them to, because every single one of those questions has led me where I am today. I see so many faces in this room that I've called on multiple occasions with really, really silly questions. And not once have they well, wait a minute. They do laugh at me, but then they help me through the process. And I'm so thankful for that. So that's what I pride myself in being able to do for others that are coming up in the industry. I've appreciated the opportunity to serve the rest of Greg Dotson's term as an appointment, and I look forward to serving again as regional ambassador with your vote. So thank you, Madam President. I appreciate it.
All right, so biographies for all of the nominees have been posted on the chapter website, and elections will begin over the weekend. An email will go out with a ballot. And there is also an email address on the website if you don't get a ballot to contact, and we can research. Just as a reminder, by our bylaws, only members who are full chapter members are eligible to vote. So that'll be the only ones who receive a ballot by email. And the deadline for voting is April 15th.
Thank you, Grayson, and thank you to our candidates, especially those that were exceptionally nervous but did really well. So Megan, I'm looking at you. All right, so as we have said, that we are the only thing standing between you and an amazing lunch of brisket and chicken and all the goodies that come along with it. But tickets. Drum roll, please. If you'll have them pull it. You'll have them pull the ticket. Yes. Mhm. Let me read it out. Hey, now I got progressives. All right, let's go 571156. 571156. And what was the gift card? Stephen, if you'll draw our next ticket, please. All right, 571165. 571165. Jackie Zell. All right, Jason, you gonna pull the next ticket? All right, big money, stop. 571168, 571168, Jimmy Stewart. And Jameson, if you'll pull our final. All right, and the next number is 571153. All right, all right. And I believe that concludes the raffle portion of today's event. All I need now is to get a motion to adjourn. Oh, good Lord. Y'all are some hungry people. Second. All right, so Missy, that's everybody on those. So I would like to thank Rapid SOS for sponsoring the food that you're getting ready to nourish and bless your body with. And it is provided by CQ Catering. And again, I'm really headed for that brisket. Vic, if you will please come up and bless this meal for us.
All right, if you'll bow your heads. Almighty God, we just thank you for this wonderful day to come together. We just ask you to soften our hearts and those of us that have are mourning still over the loss of so many close friends in the recent days, weeks. But we also just ask that you take this food and use it to nourish our bodies that we're about to take, and bless it in your son Jesus' name. Amen.